Hello everyone, Ace here, and today we are back to have yet another look at some video game history, and in the process answer the question, what exactly made Call of Duty great? First released all the way back in 2003, originally as a PC exclusive, and spawning the Call of Duty franchise, which itself has become the default FPS franchise within the video game industry, it's quite easy to say that the original Call of Duty has had a massive impact on the video game industry. One that, like I said, we can plainly see to this very day. But to understand why this is the case, let's look at what exactly made Call of Duty great. And the first thing I need to bring up is that Call of Duty popularized the concept of iron sight aiming in more mainstream FPS games. Now, that isn't to say that Call of Duty created iron sight aiming as a concept in FPS games, as both World War II Online and the original Operation Flashpoint came out before it. However, both of those games were far more niche and going for a more realistic approach. And while they are both great games in their own right, it is safe to say that it was ultimately the original Call of Duty that popularized the concept for a more mainstream audience. And given just how popular iron sight aiming has become within FPS games, the fact that Call of Duty popularized this is enough alone to make it a great game. However, it is by no means the only thing the game has that makes it stand out. Another thing that made the original Call of Duty great was that while other games had you playing as a super soldier single-handedly winning the war, such as Jimmy Patterson from Medal of Honor, Call of Duty, rather uniquely at the time, focused on having the player play as an ordinary grunt on the front lines, resulting in a game with a significantly bleaker tone to it, as the whole point for the player was predominantly just to survive. As the game itself so proudly and accurately put it, in the war that changed the world, victory was not achieved by one man, but by the lives of many. And while the game is like this for the majority of the time, there is one mission in particular that stands out in this regard: the Stalingrad mission, which remains among the very best levels of any Call of Duty game ever created. It is a fairly short mission, but nevertheless one that perfectly encapsulates the struggle for survival that Call of Duty is going for as a tone. So yes, this one singular level is itself yet another reason why this game is great. But there is one final detail I need to bring up: the music. The fact that Call of Duty's music is fantastic should really not come as much of a surprise, given the fact that the people making this game decided to bring Michael Giacchino on board, the same man that was the composer for the Medal of Honor series as well as Secret Weapons of Normandy, and even worked on Mercenaries' Playground of Destruction. Basically what I'm getting at is that not only did Call of Duty get Michael Giacchino on as a composer, but they got Michael Giacchino on at his very prime as well. This game is easily some of his very finest work. Although I must also give credit to Justin Skomarovsky, who created Age of War, the song that is used as the intro for Call of Duty, and stands as one of the finest pieces of music within the entire game. It's rare that we get a game with two fantastic music composers, yet this is indeed one such case. With this in mind, as well as everything else that I have covered, this has been Ace, and I hope you'll agree when I say that the original Call of Duty is great.